Welcome into our third major of the year in the PGA. We had the U.S. Open played at Shinnecock Hills Golf Club in Southampton, New York. This is on Long Island, and it's kind of a linksy doonesy course. So not quite an American-looking course, more like an open-looking course. But historically, Shinnecock is one of the toughest courses on the PGA. I believe this was played in 2018, where Brooks Koepka won the U.S. Open. I believe his final score was +1. From what I'm seeing, it's going to be a little easier, but the greens are just an absolute nightmare. Every single green, it looks like, is a crown green with false fronts. You're going to have guys land their approach shots on the green, rolls off, 40 yards and back into the fairway. You're going to have putts roll off the green. It's just going to be a very difficult golf course. But as always, it's a major, and usually the cream rises to the top in the major. Me and Ethan are going to give you guys a couple outright winners, a couple long shots, placement bets, miscellaneous bets, and dogleg parlays. And we have not had a winner in a while, but as always, these major championships, I think are a little easier to bet because, like I said, cream rises to the top. You can kind of get rid of the really long shots and the random dudes. I know Aaron Rai just won the PGA championship, which was a little bit of a long shot, but I do think we're going to get one of the big boys to win this. But welcome, Ethan. How you feeling about the U.S. Open? I'll send it to you as well for your first outright winner for the U.S. Open.
Yeah, feeling a lot better about this tournament than last week. We didn't do a show for the RBC Canadian, but 0-2 for me. So bet on my two Canadian boys, Nick Taylor and Corey Connors, and they both sucked. So yeah, looking more forward to this one. I will start with that outright. And this is really more of a numbers play, but I completely agree with you. Cream's going to rise to the top. One of the usual suspects is going to get it done. So I went further back down the board to a guy that's more of a long shot, Matthew Fitzpatrick, plus 2,300. Playing, can I call him the best golfer in the world right now, even though Scotty's still alive? Scotty's not been playing that well, and Fitzpatrick's been having a hell of a season. So at 23-1, when you have a lot of guys in front of him, Scotty, Rory, Xander, a couple others as well. I just think that number is really nice. His U.S. Open history, tied for 38th last year, 64th the year before, 17th, 2023, won in 2022. And then just his current form, second last week at the RBC Canadian, tied for 36th the Memorial. Him and his brother won the Zurich. He won RBC Heritage, won the Valspar, second at the Players. Just having a hell of a season here for Fitzpatrick. Strokes gained numbers, third total, second 2 to green, fourth approach, 102nd putting. If he can get that putter down, I'm fairly confident he's going to compete with the big dogs. He is a big dog, but with that plus 2,300, I'd much rather have a piece of Matthew Fitzpatrick rather than a shorter price with like a Rory or maybe even the Scotty.
Yeah, I'll get into mine. But before I do that, we do have DraftKings available in all 50 states, and DraftKings has a King of the Course promo bet. I will be using that for this pick I'm about to give out. A little more explanation about the King of the Course. You can bet a minimum $5 on a winner if that player has the most birdies in round 1 and round 2 combined. You win a share with everyone else who picked that golfer of $1 million. So you might as well, if you're going to pick a guy to win it, you might as well, click the opt-in to the King of the Course bet. And hopefully your guy has a great start to the U.S. Open. And I'm going to make this really easy for you guys. I also have Matt Fitzpatrick as my outright winner, and I will be using him for that King of the Course. Pretty much everything you said, Ethan. He is, it was Cam Young for a while was having some great finishes. I know he did win in a playoff against, or maybe the 18th. I don't know if it made it to the playoffs at the Players against Fitzpatrick, but Fitzpatrick is just on a roll right now. Cam Young's kind of dipped a little bit, which means Cam Young's probably going to have a great U.S. Open here. But Fitzpatrick is absolutely nuts right now. He did win the U.S. Open in 2022. In that 2022 season, we have very similar outcomes as this 2026 season. More wins this year. He has 3 wins on the season. But he was 5th in 2022 at the PGA, 14th this year, 14th at the Masters in 2022, 18th this year. A couple other similar spots. RBC was second this year, 10th in 2022. Valspar first this year, 5th in 2022. Waste Management 9th and 10th. Pebble 6th and 14th. So very similar results here. I'm kind of liking how the trajectory is going for Fitzpatrick for this U.S. Open. He did finish T12 at Shinnecock for the U.S. Open in 2018, so has played this very difficult course fairly well, getting a top 12 finish there. Like I said, his majors this year, 2 top 20 finishes. I think he's due for another major win here, and I really like how this course is going for him. And the model that I follow on this guy has Fitzy um, as his first overall golfer, which is a little alarming. He's ahead of Scotty, Rory, Zand, Cam Young, Morikawa, Fleetwood, Cantley, all the other guys. So Fleetwood's modeling well. I love his current form. I like how he does on majors and difficult courses. Like I said, I do think he's going to have a great start for King of the Course. If he does, have the most birdies around 1 and 2, again, share of $1 million. That is over on DraftKings. If you do want a sign up bonus, make sure you do check the link in the description of this video. But I love it. Glad we're on the same page there. I'll send it right back to you for a longer shot bet. Again, I do think we're going to have one of the bigger golfers, so not as long shots as we normally get. But what do you got for a potential sneaky pick for the U.S. Open, Ethan?
Yeah, glad we are seeing eye to eye there with Fitzy. Hope he gets it done for us. But yeah, I don't love my long shot quite as much. I did go a little bit longer than maybe what I should have, but just using a big name who's playing better golf this year than what we've seen recently, and I think it gives us a little value. So I'm going Justin Thomas, 59-1 here. He's missed the cut last 3 years at the U.S. Open. Again, not at Shinnecock, but in this tournament. But he wasn't nearly as good the last couple of years as he is now. His current form tied for 19th at Memorial, 13th at Charles Schwab, 4th at the PGA Championship, 13th at the Truist. So he's having some really nice finishes, tied for 8th at the Players. So yeah, I just think we're getting better form of Justin Thomas right now. A big name, a guy who can, hit him with the best of the golfers if he is playing on his game. His strokes gain numbers here, he is 37th total, 25th tee to green, 81st approach, 94th putting. So not the greatest numbers, but also not terrible. And I just think Justin Thomas at 59-1, I just feel like he's going to be that guy that, he's going to get a win here sooner rather than later, I think. And when he does, his numbers are going to shorten up quite a bit. So try to catch him before he gets that win. Maybe it'll be here 59-1, but kind of just like the number on a guy like Justin Thomas who, has experience and has played a lot better this year than in the past.
Yeah, kind of the same thought process for my longer shot. A guy who's playing better golf than he has in the last couple of years. Thought he was going to win a major this year. Has not so far, but and honestly, his last 2 rounds not spectacular. But the beginning of the season has been playing pretty well. I got to go back to my boy Colin Morikawa. I'll give him a shot. Plus 5,000, 50-1 odds. Again, not the greatest golf as of late, but he won at the Pebble, his first win, I believe, since 2022 or 2023. Had a really good start after that, and then kind of had some injury problems, and his form is a little out of spot. But I think he plays the U.S. Open well. He plays majors well in general, so I think it's worth a long shot. And it's more of me saying that after he won the Pebble, I said I have to take him for a major this year, and I'm going to take him for the U.S. Open. So slight sprinkle for me on Colin Morikawa. I'll continue here for my placement bet. I'm going to go back to a golfer I already said here. In my top 20 finish, I'm going to go Fitzpatrick, including ties on the top 20. It's minus 108 over there on DraftKings. He has 9 top 20s this year. He has 2 majors in the top 20 this year. He has 4 of his last 5 majors. He's finished in the top 20. I picked him to win. I think he's going to have a great tournament. And like I said, it's a tough course, so the winning score might be around even par. I think Fitzy can hang right in there. He's great at avoiding bogeys. I like how he's going to play. So top 20 for Fitzy is going to be, again, a little repeated of a bet, but I really like that. If you're not confident enough to take him to win outright, placement it is for Fitzy for me.
Yeah, I like that too. And really quick, and I apologize if I'm touching on your miscellaneous bet, but I wanted to get involved on Morikawa as well. And he is a matchup minus 120 against Bryson. I think that's a good play. I didn't write it down, or it's not what I'm going to be talking about here, but I do like that for a matchup with Morikawa. So I agree with that play. I'm going Russell Henley plus 130. Steady Eddie as they come. Russell here. History at the U.S. Open, tied for 10th last year, 7th the year before that, 14th 2023. Obviously playing really good golf this year, pretty steady, tied for 22nd at the Memorial. We saw him win the Charles Schwab and crazy come from behind fashion in that one. Tied for 3rd at the Masters, 13th at the Players, 6th at the Arnold Palmer. A lot of good finishes here for Henley. And then his strokes gain numbers, 12th total, 22nd tee to green, 51st approach, 33rd putting. So really pretty fair strokes gain numbers for Henley. Just a guy that doesn't tend to make a ton of mistakes, can keep it pretty level, get a lot of pars. And I think in this tournament, guys who are able to do that are going to have more success than the guys that, might birdie 2 in a row and then go double bogey. I think guys that can kind of just play even par all the way through, snipe a few birdies every now and again are going to be the guys that succeed here. So like Henley, plus 130, including ties, top 20.
Yeah, on a course that you would think rewards distance control, accuracy, Henley is usually the dude. So I like that quite a bit. I have seen a lot of people high on Russell as well. So I like that. My miscellaneous bet, again, this can be any bet you can find. Usually we do like a matchups or a random course prop. I'm going to give another outright here. And I apologize. I got a little square 2 weeks ago on Scotty, but this is all he needs for the Grand Slam. I'm gonna honestly bet Scotty every U.S. Open until he wins that Grand Slam. He's plus 550, which is his highest odds in a long time. I know it's an absolutely loaded field. Um, he's had great finishes at the U.S. Open. Um, he's also like he only has one win on the season, but his numbers are still ridiculous. He's the only golfer in the entire PGA with I believe 4 or 10 tournaments played above 2 strokes gained per round. No one else is even close to that. The next highest is like 1.8. Scotty's at a 2.2 strokes gained per round. He's absolutely disgusting. He's unfortunately just played against guys in some of their best tournaments of their life, where he's finished second or third. But consistently, Scotty's still the best player in the world. I'm going to take him for the Grand Slam plus 550. I think it's pretty good odds. Again, I am getting a little square, but like I said, I'm going to bet him until he wins. Honestly, a tournament this year again, or the U.S. Open moving forward in the next couple of years. I think he's going to win the Grand Slam, and might as well take him at plus 550 this year.
Yeah, I'm sticking with another top 20, so I'm not going too far away from our typical bets here, but I'm going Patrick Reed, top 20, plus 152, including ties. And really just a guy that plays well at the majors. And really that's all he's playing on the PGA Tour at this point. But, this year, tied for 10th at the PGA, tied for 12th at the Masters. He did miss the cut at the Open last year, tied for 23rd at the U.S. Open last year, missed the cut at the PGA last year, third at the Masters. So I know the Masters is really where he, plays his best golf, but with 2 top 12 finishes in both majors this year, I think he, it's kind of just a major hunter at this point, and he shows up and competes well when he does come to these majors. So, yeah, Patrick Reed, top 20, plus 152. I like the price. That is including ties as well. But again, I kind of gave you a second one there with Morikawa over Bryson. I think that's a fair play as well if you are looking for a matchup.
Yeah, I mean, Patrick Reed in majors, he's almost an automatic bet at this point. The guy just shows up for majors. I like the bet. I'll send it right back to you for our dog leg parlay leg. Again, this is Ethan gives a leg, I give a leg, little 2-leg parlay here. What do you got for your first leg here?
Yeah, so unfortunately, I'm going back to another top 20. So I'm kind of loading up here on the top 20, but I'm going Xander Schauffele, top 20 minus 124. And shop around, you can get that a little bit lower elsewhere. But I did use the DraftKings odds since, like Wyatt said, they are now live in all 50 states. So it's universally available there. But yeah, his history here, tied for 12th last year, tied for 7th the year before that, 10th the year before that, 14th, 5th. I actually don't think he's ever finished outside of the top 14 at the U.S. Open in, I believe, 9 tries. I want to say he's top 12, 8 of 9 that he's played at the U.S. Open. So obviously I don't have to go too deep into, some current form, some numbers. People know Xander Schauffele, one of the top golfers, price of the top for a reason, does very well at the U.S. Open. So yeah, I think Xander top 20 minus 124. Nice price, and honestly, I would bet that straight, but thought it was a good one for the parlay as well.
Yeah, my leg here is probably going to make you cringe a little bit. This is a guy who has sucked in 2 majors. He's kind of turning into a YouTube golfer, but he does have 2 U.S. Open wins. He also has a T25 finish at this golf course for the U.S. Open in 2018. Going Bryson DeChambeau, top 30, including ties, minus 116. Now, again, I'm very much worried about this guy. He's doing okay over there on Live, but his 2 appearances on the PGA this year at the Masters and at the PGA Championship got cut both rounds looked absolutely horrendous. I think this is now more him proving that he can still play with the big boys is what I'm going to hope. And like I said, he has 2 US Open wins. He does really well at this tournament. I think I don't trust his approach. I don't trust his around the green play. Obviously, we know how he can drive the ball. He's just not a finesse golfer, but I think he's really gonna hopefully put in some work between the PGA Championship and now working on that approach play, working on the difficult golf courses. So yeah, I don't love it, but I really got a hunch that he's just gonna, I don't know, maybe figure it out a little bit. And I just love how he plays at the US Open. I think it's worth a shot. T30, like I said, he finished T25 here in 2018, where again he did not miss 2 cuts prior to that at majors. But I think he can figure it out. So I'm gonna take a chance on DeChambeau figuring it out. Top 30 for the US Open. That should come again. That leg's minus 116. Your leg's minus 124. That should come to our plus 200-ish, 2 to 300-ish for a little dog leg parlay. Hopefully that one can hit. That has been our one of our most profitable segments on the show. But I'm very excited. Again, this kicks off tomorrow, relatively early over there in New York. I believe the first tee time is like 6:50 a.m. So make sure you do get all your bets probably locked in tonight for the US Open. But Ethan, anything to add before we sign off here?
Yeah, quickly, I will just say Xander top 20 is the one bet I do have locked in so far. So I've played that one for myself. And then lastly, I just want to say, a lot going on during the summer. We have the World Cup on right now, which obviously does not happen often. And we're doing a lot of content for that. So just check that out. It's over on our YouTube page. We also have Aaron, who's really our soccer expert, doing articles over at bettergreen.com. And he's doing daily best bets over there, 4-2 so far. So seeing it really well. So check that out. Also doing MLB, WNBA all summer long. So if you like the free plays, we appreciate you guys. But yeah, looking forward to this tournament. Hopefully Maddie can get it done for us. And Bryson's my guy, so I hope you're on something there.
Okay. I know you've taken him. I knew you took him to PGA to miss the cut, and that one hit. So yeah, hopefully you can figure it out. But yeah, like Ethan said, we cover it all over here at Better and Green. We're really looking forward to football season come August, September. But between now and football season, we got a lot going on. Like Ethan said, not just World Cup. He's doing baseball. We got WNBA, which is not fun to watch, but it's, you can find some good betting opportunities there. We also have MMA, UFC of Bobby and Ben, who are absolutely killing it over there. So make sure you guys do give us a subscribe to our channel if that's something you're interested in. Again, primarily a football show, but we are having a little bit of fun this summer, messing around with some other sports and some other markets. So we appreciate you guys. Good luck at the US Open, and we'll see you in our next episode of Ready Golf.
Welcome to Better and Green, eh? To Better and Green, eh? To Better and Green, eh? Listening and cash out, that's what it's all about. Come on, let's make cash now. We always on spot and we cover old spot from the bottom to the top, hey. Shout out to Ethan, shout out to Wyatt, shout out to Ben. Welcome to our podcast, Better and Green.